Hello everyone, Martin Bailey here, Digital Enrichment Leader at Lanchester EP Primary School in County Durham and Director of Animate Educate Limited. Just want to share with you a few ways in which you can use your Now Press Play equipment in a wider sense. So first of all, what we need to remember is that your Now Press Play transmitter and the audio jack that is on the end of it will fit into any device that has an audio jack upon it, and will therefore transmit that content in exactly the same way it does your Now Press Play experiences from either the Now Press Play tablet, your iPad, whatever you're accessing the Now Press Play experiences on. So for example, maybe you want to give your children the experience of what it might be like in a rainforest, for example. So you might find a video on YouTube or any other online website, for example. You could put that audio jack of your Now Press Play transmitter into your laptop, desktop computer, whatever you have on your desk in the classroom. Plug the transmitter into the audio jack there, pop the pink headphones on like you would do normally, and then the children are going to actually be hearing like the sounds of the rainforest sort of through their headphones, much more likely to tune them in, direct them to what they're hearing than if you just simply, play the video out loud to 25, 30 children in the classroom, whatever it might be. Likewise, any content that children have created, so maybe they have used a wide variety of different apps that are available, sort of, iMovie, GarageBand, whatever it might be and stuff like that, where they've created some content. Again, pop the audio jack, sort of the transmitter, in any device, and then suddenly, the rest of the class can hear sort of the content that has been produced. What about maybe you're having like a movie night in school? It tends to find that, you get that low level bit behavior and stuff like that. The kids are not necessarily tuned in, they're turning around, chatting to each other and so on. If you're playing sort of that movie in the classroom, in the school hall, whatever it might be, again, pop the audio jack into the transmitter, pop the pink headphones on, and then suddenly like every child is like sort of then immersed in the movie that they're watching. And even if it's not sort of like a whole movie as part of like movie night or whatever, maybe you're wanting to show like maybe like a 5-minute extract, a clip from a little video. So, I was looking at sort of the Victorian workhouses last week with some of my year 6 children. So we watched a little extract from Oliver Twist. And again, we plugged the transmitter in, kids had the pink headphones on, and, for that 5 minutes or so we were watching that clip, they were then taking everything in much more than if I just played that video out loud to the whole class. What I particularly like is when you now make your own Now Press Play experiences, much more simple than what you might think. So, I tend to just use something like iMovie. So the children to begin with would just use the video camera facility on something like an iPad and would video each other sort of speaking the different parts of their Now Press Play experience. Drop them into something like iMovie, and then you can either just play it through it is, or if you want to make it a little bit more professional, what we tend to do, we detach the audio and then just put like a static image about whatever it is that we're doing sort of at the top. So it looks a little bit like when you're viewing a podcast or something like that, you have like one sort of static image and then the audio is coming through. So, there's really great techniques in that, because if you think about like what's actually involved in a Now Press Play experience, it doesn't go more than probably 10, 15, 20 seconds without there being some sort of movement involved. So, it really sort of, focuses children into that idea, like, when you're creating a script, it's not just all sort of verbal, what are the movements involved, what actually happens in a Now Press Play experience in terms of, moving to the north, traveling to the south, looking at the east, the west, whatever it might be, and so on. And the final little tip for you, something I've just experimented with a little bit over the last year or so, and certainly something I want to do a lot more of, is the use of QR codes linked maybe to like a orienteering experience, maybe like a like a maths hunt around the school, whatever it might be, and so on. So I'm sure lots of us use, whether it be Google Drive, Office 365, Dropbox, whatever it might be, for sort of storing sort of content. So you could either have an audio recording, or could be a little video that you've sort of uploaded sort of to any cloud-based storage system. And then within there, you normally have the option to copy link. And then once you can copy the link, you can quite easily sort of link that to a QR code. So I had a little go in the summer, it worked quite well, where we had like a little bit of a maths hunt around the school. So the children took the tablet with them, they were wearing the Now Press Play headphones, they scanned the QR code, and when they got to that QR code, it sort of gave them a little bit of a clue in a maths challenge that they had to then work out and go to another location around school. You obviously do need to be aware of the range sort of there, but you do get a pretty good range sort of off the transmitter. So your average school sort of field etc. would pick up the sort of range sort of from the transmitter. But obviously you do need to sort of check that out, and not sort of have the kids wandering off quarter mile or whatever, and then it's not picking it up. But definitely sort of something around an average school field, school grounds and stuff like that is something that you can look to do. So quick little recap, any content that children have created on devices, get other children sort of listening through there. Maybe you want to show like an internet sort of YouTube video, etc. Like I say, an example I gave was like the sounds of the rainforest, stuff like that. Think about movie night, or if you want to show a clip from a movie, think about getting the children to make their own Now Press Play experiences. Really, really, really simple to do. And then finally, have a go at making sort of some QR codes linked, like I say, to orienteering, some sort of, maths hunts, whatever it might be. So 5 top tips, 5 ways in which you can extend your use of Now Press Play. Hope that's been helpful to you. Take care, everyone.